This is starting. I think we're starting.
We're starting.
That's how it starts.
Push it with your dick, dude.
It worked!
I am Ray Taylor.
I clearly don't have a regular job.
I was never really into comic books growing up. Like, I was a geek.
Well, you should tell your face that, because you look exactly like
I do.
Watch the fights.
Fuck yeah, I watch the fights.
I'm Keith Spurlock.
I watch every kind of pornography.
I said,
all right, to counteract my cancer that I'm giving myself,
Right.
I smoke weed after every cigarette.
What were we just fucking talking about?
And this is the Inspired Disorder Podcast.
I'm not going to allow you to have an opinion on this just because you're wrong.
Is anyone else's podcast about like jerking off and UFC?
I guess this is the start of the podcast. We're already going. I'll just edit I'll just have to. I'll just edit it. I'll just edit it
start
tomorrow.
it right there.
Yeah. I mean, I'll cut in. I don't know. We'll get to whatever we get into. So anyway, our guest for this episode. Fuck, we're not even gonna do sponsors. We're not gonna do any of that shit. We're just gonna get into it. I'll add the intro music in later. I'll do everything and edit.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Well, yeah. No, we'll do it the complete opposite of how we do it. We usually do it live. We're doing it a lot of in post. It's going to be the post production episode, but we're doing this episode because we have a special guest from Houston, Texas area. I don't know if it's exactly Houston, Texas, but you may have seen him if you're into jiu-jitsu, super into jiu-jitsu, and maybe heard of one of our sponsors on it. He just recently commentated with the Fighter and the Kid on the Onnit Invitational that was in Austin, Texas recently. And he is part of the Jiu Jitsu podcast, very popular podcast. You've seen their shirts everywhere, the state of Texas with the name of the podcast. It's a simple, great design, and I see them fucking everywhere. I just saw Tate Fletcher posted a Snapchat, and somebody in his video was wearing a Jiu Jitsu podcast shirt. I was like, holy, that's so weird. Anyway, for me, it's weird just because
beautiful.
I've seen you guys grow, and it's amazing to see what all of everybody involved with the Jiu Jitsu podcast is doing.
Gonna say his name finally.
But yeah, so Joey, I don't know his last name, but Joey, but at Joe Fody Ounce OZ on Twitter. Thank you for coming on the show. Appreciate it.
Hell yeah, man! Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah. So you part of what you're doing now is the Jiu Jitsu podcast. How long has that podcast been going on? It's a few years now, right?
Not quite a few years. It's been
seems like a few years.
June. It's only been like 2 years, man. It's been like a little over 2 years now. Actually, no, coming up on 2 years. I'm sorry. So I think we started in like summer of 2014. So
you started
it's coming up on 2 years, man.
You started right before I came and visited. Pretty much.
Yeah, we were a few episodes in whenever you were here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I actually got to meet all these guys while I was out there.
Yeah.
We hung out.
You were almost going to move there.
I was going to move there, and then we had a good time.
Robert was going to steal you from the show, and I was going to have to find a new co-host again. It's just going to be another thing. So that's awesome. So, and you're also into jiu-jitsu. You've been doing jiu-jitsu. You started jiu-jitsu before the podcast? Or what got you into jiu-jitsu?
Okay, so basically listening to the Rogan podcast started getting the wheels turning, like thinking about what jiu-jitsu was, like seeing or hearing all the stories with him and Eddie Bravo, and just getting an idea of like what this art is. Like I wasn't really fully aware of like what martial arts was to an extent. Like I didn't pay much attention to UFC, but I kind of put two and two together. I was like, well, okay, so jiu-jitsu is this stuff on the ground. Like, what is it? So that got me like sort of like intrigued about it. But I didn't know anybody that trained personally, so I did have to like kind of expand my social bubble, so to say, and like kind of meet and engage with people that trained, because I didn't know anybody. I didn't know what school was where. I didn't know anything. So, but he got me like sort of thinking about it. So, listening to him talk and like like I said, Eddie Bravo, it just really got me interested in it. But I had to like meet other people to actually like figure out and put myself in that position to train. Like I didn't know anything about it. I was like, I just lift weights. I'm a meathead, and I want to just, I don't know what the hell I'm doing here.
Yeah.
Say, you know?
Yeah. So where did you go when you first, like, how did you find
Man,
your first jiu-jitsu place to start getting into it?
I got a recommendation from a friend that I actually ended up meeting through the podcast, and he gave me a name of a school that was like really close to my house, and he said, hey, like this guy just opened up a school, you should go try it out. And basically it was the second school that I went to, and I was like, as soon as I went here, I was like, I gotta be here. I don't know if you've seen any of like the pictures or the videos that I've posted, but like it's all like black and white and like graffiti on the walls. It's like super Cali.
Yeah.
And I like my gym is, I love my gym, man. Like it's, the dark side is fucking like, it's such a great place to train, and like I'm so happy that I wound up there, man. It's crazy. Like those guys, that's my family there, man, for sure.
The dark
it's crazy
side.
how I got into it already. I'm deep, man. I'm deep in the jiu-jitsu game already, man.
Yeah.
Now is that primarily gi or no gi?
Technology herpes.
Hello?
You there? Did we lose him?
Submission grappling.
Oh.
Hello? Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. We
Hello?
lost you for a second. Now you're back.
Ah, cool.
Yeah.
Sorry. No, it's all no-gi, so it's basically just it's a lot of clinch, a lot of head and arm stuff, and it's MMA applicable. So we got a lot of guys that are on our team that do MMA, and some fight professionally. So it definitely keeps that formality like available. So we strictly train no-gi.
Cool. Have you done any competitions?
Yeah, I've done a few competitions last year as a blue belt, and I'm doing my next one in a couple weeks, actually.
Awesome.
So that's the important part. Like I would have never thought that before I started training jiu-jitsu that I'd be doing something like a jiu-jitsu tournament. I would have thought I was crazy for doing this stuff, but it's how things have changed,
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when you find something that you never knew you'd be into, and then all of a sudden, I mean, it's just anything. When people get into weed, get into fucking sex.
When I
people
found,
start
when I
fucking
found
for the
out
same first
jacking
time,
off was that awesome?
For sure.
Man, I've never looked back.
there are hidden depths in masturbation.
And there's no
Go
injury that's going to
straight
stop
into
that
that.
one.
Yeah, I cause injuries. It's just now it's just maintenance, just trying to keep my body healthy enough so I can keep jerking off.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's awesome though. So you've been doing it for a few years. You've been doing the show. So you started doing jiu-jitsu before the jiu-jitsu how did the jiu-jitsu podcast all come to starting?
So like the podcast. Hello, I got here an echo. So the podcast started like after we went from, we took a trip to California for Metamorphs 3.
Right.
Me and Robert Ezel, and we came back like super and like just geeked out, so crazy from the experience. I don't know if I'm sure you guys saw Metamorphs 3, but Eddie Bravo and Hoyler pretty much, like, in my opinion, I think like changed the landscape of what jiu-jitsu like is. Jiu-jitsu changed that night.
Yeah.
And from that point on, we were just like, we got to talk about this stuff, man. We got to talk about our experiences, the people that we train with, and all this stuff, and being with Garza, the guy fucking is on his podcast game real strong.
Yeah.
Just like, hey guys, fucking let's do a podcast, and so we were like, let's do a fucking podcast, and that's it, man. That's how it started. Crazy.
Yeah. So going into it, did you have any kind of like, I don't know, any kind of like preconceived structure to it, or it's just like we just want to go in, we want to talk about jiu-jitsu, get people in the game on the show and just get into it that way? Just kind of a conversational kind of a show? Or did you have, I don't know,
Yeah, I mean,
just kind of a free-flowing kind of type of show?
we definitely tried do a little bit of both. Like we want to get like, a lot of guys that are like in the game and kind of grill them about like training and, kind of what they like to do as far as like strength and conditioning or just like styles and, tournaments and how you score stuff and all that stuff. But we definitely love to just go back and forth as far as like just us and the host, like talking back and forth about what we're doing, like what we're doing in the community and stuff. Like that's all, that's something that we just kind of wing it, man. Like it's really cool how we just, we get all these people from all over the world. We've literally talked to people from like, I think we talked to this dude from Costa Rica. We talked to a guy, I talked to a guy in Europe already, or Canada. And, it's just really cool talking to all these people from all over the world.
Yeah.
About jiu-jitsu.
It's cool. I mean, podcasting in general, just the art form of podcasting, it opens up doors to where you can have conversations and learn a lot, whether you listen to them or you're making them.
We've got to talk to people from everywhere, but I mean, instead of jiu-jitsu, it was usually
just like
dicks. And
people that were on podcasts that we like.
Just talking about dicks and stuff.
Yeah.
But that's it.
You talk
gotta,
about what you know.
You find your passion.
Listen, when it comes down to it, it's all about grappling. Can I, okay? Whether you're wrestling a man or wrestling your dick or,
So, your little hosting, your commentary gig. How did that happen? Like,
the Onnit Invitational, which was the second one. They broadcasted live on YouTube. It's through the 10th Planet and EBI kind of submission only, and then with the overtime thing. I love how it's set up. It's so exciting to watch. Like, really, I've watched, as far as Metamoris, I watched the Eddie Bravo versus Gracie, but I didn't watch the whole. I don't know if I had access to the whole thing, but I saw that match. But watching EBI, it's so exciting. So the Onnit thing is similar to EBI, which is on Fight Pass. But then the Onnit, and it's I guess it's more I don't know. Is it a different level of competition, or is it, what would be the difference between the Onnit ones and the EBI ones? Aside from way better commentating on the Onnit ones. Sorry to cut you off there, but way superior people on the mic with the Onnit ones over EBI. But, things may change. People may get promoted. Who knows? Maybe.
Yeah. I remember for the last EBI, they had a brown belt, or I think he's now a black belt, Scott Ross, at a 10th Planet HQ.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Scott Ross. Like, he's a super cool, like, knowledgeable dude. So, that's always
not to say EBI
guys do well with that.
Yeah. Not to say EBI guys are bad. I'm just saying.
I love
that it was fun. It was fun. It was a good mix on the mic on it. You had complete ignorance with Brian Callen a lot of the times, but it's still funny. And then they have a light kind of a mixture between them, and then you're there to hold the ship together and make sure you stay on point. You're like the rock that everybody clung to.
They have like a really, really cool vibe between the two. Like, it makes it for a lot of fun. And Brian and Brendan's, like, everybody gives Brendan shit about his his game from Metamoris and how he did against Cyborg, just playing his game. But Shab is like really, really, his brown belt is like legit. He knows the jiu-jitsu obviously better than I do, but it's like they make it real easy to work with. Those guys made it super easy, and I had so much fun working with them, man.
That's cool.
Well, how did you get that gig though?
Yeah.
Like Curtis Hembroff is the 10th Planet Austin basically head coach over there. Him and Travis, like, Curtis opened up the school and well, Eddie Bravo basically picked Curtis to run it, and Curtis was one of the guys that I trained with when I went to California to watch Metamoris. I was able to train with Curtis, and we kept in touch. And when I found out he was going to open up the new 10th Planet in Austin, I was like, dude, that's cool, man. And then, I mean, things just got super big from there. They had their grand opening with Eddie Bravo teaching a seminar there. And from there, like, I had no idea they were doing this Onnit Invitational, the first one. And Curtis was like, hey, man, we want you to do this. You know, we think you'd be a good fit. And that was, I think a lot of it was because of the podcast. You know, it's opened up another avenue, another creative venue for me. And I thought, you know, why the hell not, man? I think it's a pretty cool opportunity, man. I love jiu-jitsu. I love watching it. So I might as well, you know, go and, watch it for fun, for sure.
So who approaches you at that point? Or is it just like your buddy?
Yeah, like, well, Travis Nuwaza was doing some a seminar here in Houston, like before, like a month or two before that, and he's obviously deep in the 10th Planet system game, and like him and Curtis were friends, and hanging out with Travis for down here while he was teaching and stuff, and he came to one of our community ran like jiu-jitsu outdoor experience, which was like a whole nother thing we were putting together in Houston. One of the jiu-jitsu coaches here in Houston is putting that on. But like, yeah, man. So Curtis just, is friendly with Travis, and Curtis has called me up, man. Is like, hey, dude, you want to do the interview, and do the commentating job? And I'm like, well, for sure. And that at that time, that was with Flow Grappling though. So I wasn't like, that was my first gig, man. That's only like, I'm still a white belt in commentating in my opinion. So.
Well, yeah, but you got to start somewhere, it's cool. I don't know.
Definitely.
You never know where little opportunities take you, starting a podcast. And now it's like it's a series. It makes, like, as far as podcasts that make sense to do. And it helps that it's done with like good production and people that are super passionate about it. But it's like, you hear about MMA podcasts, you hear about sports podcasts with MMA figures in them, but you don't really hear, at least I don't know, are there a lot of other jiu-jitsu podcasts now that you do one? Do you find that you've met other ones online or anything, or are you guys kind of the unicorn?
Definitely. No, dude, not at all, dude. There's like, I've seen like, man, I can count on two hands how many jiu-jitsu podcasts I've seen and that are out there, man. That's awesome. Like, some I've never heard of. I see new ones every day. So it's they're definitely popping up, and a lot of them actually been doing it longer than we have. Like, and I'm like, that's awesome, dude. Because there's so much jiu-jitsu going around. There's tournaments every weekend. There's something going on. There's super fights all over the country. So there's so much jiu-jitsu out there to talk about, and like that's what's cool. So it definitely makes it fun to see how other people do it, and how what might work for you guys or what might work for us. It's really cool how it's got it up like that.
So I know I asked you before, and I probably interrupted your answer and went on a tangent. But in describing the difference between the Onnit competition and EBI competition, even though it's the same rule set and everything like that. But jiu-jitsu also, it's not like MMA. Even in MMA, the differences in promotions are a lot different. But what would you say is the difference between the Onnit and the EBI as far as people that enter and stuff like that?
Yeah, the competition is definitely EBI level.
Yeah.
Those guys, like, they picked the high level brown belts and black belts from Texas, and they put together an 8-man tournament, and then they have like a round of super fights thrown in the mix between the tournament going, and every single one of those guys could definitely compete in EBI and see what happens. I mean, that's the exciting part about sub only
Yeah.
and not going for points and stuff, but any one of those guys. So it's an 8-man tournament, and they usually have 5 or 6 maybe super fights, and all of them go by EBI rules.
Yeah.
And if you're not familiar with EBI rules, it's 10-minute matches, and they have basically anything is legal, except for the kids. The kids can't do heel hooks, but they go, and then if there's no winner decided, they go to 3 overtime rounds potentially, and whoever has each competitor can start from the back or from a spider web position, and they go, and whoever has the fastest escape time or gets a submission without allowing a submission when they get their back taken or spider web position is the winner. And if there's no submission, the shortest time from the 3 overtime rounds is declared the winner. So it's definitely, I think, in my opinion, the best rule set for jiu-jitsu going forward.
Yeah.
It definitely, it gives the audience something to really see, and it gives people
it gives you a
closure
winner.
in a match.
It gives you a
no
winner.
suspense.
How many jiu-jitsu
Exactly.
matches forever are just a draw?
It
It's
gives you
a
a
draw.
winner.
It's a draw.
Points are like the worst thing. Like, I mean, even in MMA, when we got to go to the score. I mean, the people scoring on the scorecards are fucking sometimes ignorant, but it's just nobody wants to go scores. Like, we want to see a finish, man. And that the rules that they have, super exciting. It's like so much action. It's like, and just watching grappling versus MMA, you see so much more dynamic movement and people like going, just throwing themselves in acrobatic ways to like land into a better position just to get things going versus, it really makes the like MMA, jiu-jitsu and MMA kind of, you see how like very little is actually being used. But then you're also seeing people that are from like, 10th Planet and shit that are doing the
Makes a
rubber
big
guards.
difference when someone punches you in the face.
Exactly. Well, that too. But it's just
Changes your whole game plan.
Yeah.
It's so exciting. But watching grappling, it's like you wouldn't think watching jiu-jitsu, because I've seen some live tournaments at like the UFC Expo and things like that. But
I've watched gi competitions and nothing. It was just so slow, and then like it turns out this guy's
people
just
can
like
stall and hold,
just
and
chokes the shit out of a guy with his own fucking burlap sack.
Yeah.
I mean, gi, whatever. They feel like the same thing.
Yeah.
Who's wearing that shit in the real world? How practical. Like, if someone tries to choke you with your t-shirt, you can rip that shit off.
Yeah. That's why I don't wear suits.
Yeah. I mean, I thought maybe Hoist Gracie would step back in the cage with a gi on. I thought that would have been gangster.
Yeah. Might as well.
Yeah.
It's fucking.
Ken Shamrock again.
Yeah, it's a
the last
circus
one.
over there anyway. Might as well. Dada died twice, apparently.
Well, according to him, he died during the fight. He just had he just put out something
He was
today.
a doctor. He's like, I know I died.
He's like, I coded during the fight and died.
Hey, Cormier. Dada died twice, bro, for a fight. And it wasn't even like that
He's
big
like,
of a
I was
payday.
in fight shape. Is that why
Yeah.
you gassed out in literally 10 seconds?
Oh, man. Yeah.
But my kidneys were failing. That's not
I
fight
can't believe
shape, bro.
Cormier pulled out.
Well, I mean, if it's I don't know.
I can't believe Cormier pulled out.
Really? I don't know. It's like if you're injured, I guess you're injured, right?
Yeah. If you're going to have to fight John Jones, you really don't want to have like any sort of injury.
It's really interesting, the champions that we've had, like how like Conor, before he got beat by Diaz, everybody was pulling out for him. This happens. Like, a lot of people get injured in preparation for like really tough fights. And AKA is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like they're new to injuries, but and he's older. It's not
They
like
go hard over there.
yeah.
Well, I also think too, maybe in his, because like he doesn't have Kane to train with, and that was his excuse, or like a small excuse for the last time they fought was like Kane was also injured then, because when isn't fucking Kane injured?
Yeah, I don't know. Although
Yeah.
Ferguson had to pull out.
Yeah, did you hear about that, Joey? Tony Ferguson had to pull out of his fight with Khabib after
Which is ironic.
2 months
Yeah.
of talking shit about just show up to the fight, bro. Just how about you stay healthy? And then all of a sudden he's like, fuck, I hurt myself.
Yeah. Too many injuries, man.
I wanted to see that fight so bad. I wanted to see that fight
yeah.
so bad. Now I think if Cerrone steps in, he just wants to be able to fight Cote again in June.
Yeah.
If he fights Khabib in what? When is that card? In a
Like
week
2
or
weeks.
2 weeks?
Yeah.
And then he fights. Yeah, it's coming up. So, fuck, dude.
I don't
wanted
like
to
that
see
fight with
so
him and
bad. Khabib
Cote.
hasn't fought in like 2 years either.
Yeah,
Good fights. Why don't you
but
like that
but I
fight?
don't like Cowboy versus what the fuck did I
Cote?
just Cote. Yeah, that's
Why?
because Cote is
Against- against
a
Cote.
185 pounder masquerading as a 170 pounder. And fucking Cerrone's a 155 pounder
That's true.
masquerading as so there's a lot of it, and
There's better fights for him.
Cote
than that.
fought fucking Anderson Silva for the belt and wasn't doing horrible
His
until
knee
he
gave out.
until his knee gave
Yeah.
out. So I wouldn't
He's
want
older,
to I wouldn't
too.
want to see Cowboy in there with Anderson Silva.
I don't know.
I mean, Cote beat Ben Saunders his last fight. I mean,
Yeah. He did look good.
He's taken a lot of damage though. He's
Yeah.
fighting
Oh,
for a while.
he tore right
Yeah.
through Ben's rubber guard. Like that was like he was dominating
Oh,
everyone.
Yeah. That was
and
the fight I was thinking
Cote
of. Yeah.
was just every
Uh,
time Ben tried to do anything, he just smothered him and just
I think
pulled-
Cerrone. But see, that's the thing. I think Cerrone can fight anybody though.
I didn't
I
think
mean-
that he looked that.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we hear you. Can you hear us?
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah. Hello.
We can hear you. Can you hear us?
Okay, cool.
Okay.
You guys are cutting out sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know what.
Sorry.
It's like there maybe the apocalypse has started and we just don't know it yet.
It's like 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah.
You know what? But hey, check it out. So if this fucking podcast keeps fucking up,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be up there in like 2 weeks anyway. We'll just fucking podcast again
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
in person.
That's true. Oh, well, that's like a
Yeah.
better video. Maybe I'll get the 3D thing working with the audio. Yeah, that's true. I mean, we've got like, I don't know. It's going okay.
Yeah,
it's not that bad.
but,
we're going fine.
If it
but,
disconnects,
and
we'll do another one.
and we'll
Yeah.
do another one
we can,
anyway.
Yeah, it's like we can do these. We do a lot of them. We
Oh,
can do
yeah.
more. There'll be new fights going on.
and it's gonna be awesome.
Everybody's gonna pull out on half of the
Wait.
fights for 200.
If
So
you-
we're gonna have a lot of shit. To
if
talk
you
about.
show up, you will literally be the fourth person from out of state
yeah, that we've
to just
met.
like come through and pop like all Twitter friends. What JR? Then we had Don.
more.
Then we had Will Moore, and I think you would be 4.
and you would be 5.
That's so badass. Dude.
Yeah, I don't
We've
know.
had
It's
more
been a lot
people,
of
more Twitter friends from out of state
Yeah.
stop into our apartment than people that we actually.
Although we haven't podcasted.
We didn't podcast with
well,
any
JR
of them.
did. JR.
Oh, you did
I
a
did a
podcast.
podcast with JR.
I was-
yeah, so
I was
yeah,
at
we,
work.
yeah, we fucking do that, man. That'd be good. But we'll do this one too. If we get disconnected or whatever, it's like whatever. We'll take it up
yeah,
later.
And there's a nice
To be
little
continued.
bar like 2 blocks away that serves good food.
Yeah. It's a nice little
Sweet.
convenient place to be located. But anyway, yeah. So
Yeah.
do you have any?
No, what I was gonna say.
Go ahead.
Yeah, what I was gonna say about Cerrone, like that guy will fight any weight class. Really,
Yeah.
he'll fight whenever. I think he just ran into a buzzsaw with Dos Anjos. So I think any other matchup for him, I think is definitely somebody that they got to watch out for because Cerrone is coming for fucking blood, man.
Yeah. I think that it's the thing with Cerrone is sometimes it seems like he just doesn't show up and he's not mentally there. And it seemed like that one I don't know, or maybe it was just one of the few times I actually watched one of the pre-fight kind of build-up videos, and it was talking about his grandma and like she doesn't has like I'm just fighting like it seemed very emotional going into it. But he's had issues in the past where he just doesn't.
If he wants to fight at 170 though, he's gotta fucking gain a bunch of muscle because he's put him in there against fucking
Conor McGregor broke everybody's like concept
I don't give
of
a
like
fuck.
trying to
put him in
deal
there
weight classes.
with Woodley.
I
Woodley
mean,
would fucking throw.
He
like,
would just have to survive Woodley,
throw
and
him out of
Woodley
the
would
ring.
gas out. Well, I don't know, man. Did Woodley get popped recently, or is
Dude,
he one of the
Cerrone
few
would
that hasn't?
just piece him up.
I don't think he
would fight a smart fight. I don't know, man.
Even in the Cowboy versus Cowboy fight, you could tell that he was, even though he won that fight, like you could tell that he wasn't as strong as the other dude, and it was visible in the way that he handled him.
Styles.
I get that, but I'm
shit's
saying
different.
Even
listen, man.
the one fight I want to see Cowboy Matt Brown.
That would be a good fight. I'm nervous about Matt Brown versus Damian Maia.
Yeah, I don't like that.
That's
his one fucking kryptonite through his whole career has been submissions. And then you go, okay, who's the best submission?
Who's a guy doing really
who's
well?
Maybe one of the best guys ever in MMA?
He's like
from
just-
jiu-jitsu. How about you fight him? And guess what? His stand-up's gotten a lot better.
He knows. Yeah, he's worked.
He's tearing through 170.
He had this gigantic foundation of jiu-jitsu, and he's like, okay, what's the snappiest shit I can build on top of this to make that the most successful thing? And he's like, well, I just got to learn this fucking amount of takedown and striking, and he figured it out, man, so he can use his jiu-jitsu, his strongest weapon. But it's hard. You start standing, so
Do you remember
have
the
to
fight?
get down.
Do you remember when he fought Chael?
Who?
Damian Maia.
Damian Maia? I don't remember it. I mean, I know I watched
Joey,
it, but I don't really
do you remember
it,
that fight?
I don't actually. I don't.
Chael versus
it
Damian
probably might have
Maia.
been before I was paying attention. To
It might
UFC,
have
man.
been.
When was that?
It was.
Was
it was
Chael's
at
on
185.
his way up?
And Chael. This is pre. I think Anderson Silva. And Damian Maia
Jesus
submitted him in I think about 30 seconds.
But Chael's had an issue with. I mean, that's how he loses. Was it for a triangle?
He's not a jiu-jitsu guy. He's
No.
a wrestler.
Yeah, and Chael's got a mental issue too.
Chael just had
Chael breaks.
a submission match with Bisping. You know, did you watch that?
Oh my god, that's like you can't call that anything.
Did you watch that, Joey?
Yeah.
I didn't. No, I missed that fight.
Did you?
I don't remember that fight.
Oh
No,
was
it
on
just happened. It was some weird.
it was like every match was a different type of. They were the grappling match.
There
was a
Bisping,
kickboxing.
and
there
this is
was
recent. This is
MMA.
like 2 weeks ago.
It was, what was that? UR fights.
Seriously.
Your fights. UR fights.
There
It was
was a
just like a one-off.
Professional wrestling,
Boxing.
There was grappling. There was boxing.
Who was the boxer?
Didn't they link
Roy Jones Jr.
Roy Jones Jr.
put up 100,000 of his own money versus like
Some
guy, and then he knocked that guy out.
It actually was the better Bellator
Rey
in some
Mysterio
ways.
Jr. and Kurt Angle
Yeah.
were in the wrestling match, and then
I didn't
the
watch that
rapper
part.
Riff Raff interfered.
Wrestling.
and
Raff was
then
the referee.
and then their actual MMA fight turned into a barroom brawl where the guy's like punching the other guy through the ropes.
Well, then
And just like won't stop.
so it was Chael Sonnen versus Michael Bisping. No way, it was just, and they were just paid to show. They didn't have, there was no win bonus or anything. It was just show up and
So they played fucking touch butt in the park.
Bisping tried to like mix it up a little, like make it look entertaining at least, but Chael was just, not do it was not good. I suggest you find it.
I could.
Just
Yeah, I gotta find this.
just
Man.
to-
I didn't know about this.
yeah.
This little.
There's
promotion.
video. I saw it
Wow.
post. I'm sure it's probably on YouTube. all over
I'm
the place
sure
now.
there's.
Chael Sonnen versus Michael Bisping, the worst grappling match ever. But it's just, it's sad when you watch a grappling match where the amount of time on the ground is like 5% of the entire 3 rounds. It's ridiculous, but yeah, I don't know.
All right,
That's why EBI is so good, because it's like, it's really entertaining. Like if they're actually going to compete, like really make them compete in a way that makes them, oh man.
What are you guys' thoughts on Conor McGregor, Nate Diaz at headlining 200, and Conor insisting it be at 170? Joey?
Man, if
there's a lot
Conor
of
thinks he can do it, if he thinks he can beat Nate Diaz at doing the same game, having the same game plan, he's wrong.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's
giving Nate a whole camp.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't.
It's not.
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. It's like, it's not a fight I want to see, but I'll fucking watch it. I want to see it, but it's not.
I want to see Nate win again, just so Nate can be the most like.
I would rather see him at 155, where they both are like look better. They're both 155 fighters.
Nate wanted it at 155.
Make it like, at least it's not a belt fight. At least add some legitimacy to it and have it at 155 to be like, have some.
Here's the best part. I work with a guy and he's a big buff fucking musclehead. He's like 23, but kid's fucking looks like a juice monster. But I said something about like in UFC. I'm like, do you like? He's like, I like Conor McGregor, and I'm like, all right, then this is fun for me because I'm a hardcore fan, and
let's see how deep this goes.
And he's very fair weather, I can tell already. And I said, so what do you think about him losing recently? And he goes, well, I mean, he went up 20 pounds. And I go, well, the guy, he didn't want to fight at 170. McGregor's the one that wanted to fight at 170. He's like, oh, well, I mean, still, he was killing him in the first round. I was like, yeah, but you gotta fight all the rounds. The first round doesn't just. That's not it. And he was like, well, and I told him, I go, they're gonna fight again. He goes, oh yeah, and I go, and McGregor insisted it was at 170 again. And I go, what do you think about that? I was like, so you can't have that excuse anymore when this dude, or McGregor fans will always use that excuse. Like, I like McGregor too. Like,
I do too.
It's not.
I just don't think it's a good fight.
But I will say,
he's favored. I don't know if he's still favored, but I think when the odds came out,
I wasn't always a huge Diaz brothers fan. I've posted many things. Recently, at least Nate won me over with the Michael Johnson fight. That transferred into the Conor McGregor fight, and now I'm all in. I'm 209.
Nate, I've always, because of the show, because when I got into MMA, UFC, it was right around when Tough was probably in their, I don't know, it was like 2007.
4th season.
Yeah. But, I fucking downloaded all the shit and I kind of backlogged it. But he's one of the guys from the show, right? Who am I talking about? Yeah. I forgot who I was talking about, but I remember he was Nate Diaz. And I always liked him more than his brother because I was never into Pride, because I wasn't into Pride before. And Nick was,
Nick was UFC.
Really?
He only
well,
fought
then it was
Pride
just early.
one time.
Okay.
And then he went to Strikeforce and.
Okay, so he's other organizations.
Yes.
But I always liked Nate, the younger of the two, more because of the show. But it's just their style of like whiny was so annoying for a while. But now that it's like, okay, he's getting paid, like this is exciting. Like this Conor McGregor versus him is, on paper, a great matchup leading up to it. It's just, at least the promotion for it's great. You got two shit talkers, very different styles of shit talking.
He got that fight by talking mad shit after beating Michael Johnson.
It worked. It
on
was
Fox, where he just cussed.
Well, and
Joe had to take the mic.
Somebody had to break their foot
you
too. Somebody had to break their foot, and then he got the fight.
But I'm saying,
I don't know if he would have got the fight if it wasn't that late
Dos
replacement.
Anjos would have fucking murdered him.
Probably, yeah.
Dos Anjos. Go for it, Joe.
if Conor McGregor wanted to do the fight at one, or if he didn't want to do the fight at 155, like I guess he has some. He's delusional if he thinks he can beat Nate Diaz at 170.
Yeah,
he's got to change his strategy. He's got to.
Yeah, I mean clearly he can't. He's not going to be able to knock him out in the first round, which what he was trying to do. He's got to fight way smarter. He wasn't fighting smart. It was. I mean, I guess he had a lot of like trust in his
he was
in his hands.
I will say this.
Work.
He was whooping Nate's ass in that first round.
Nate, when the fight was
I
over,
was worried.
Nate's face
was
not in good shape. But although the Diaz brothers' faces
he's
tend
not
to bleed a lot.
surprised, motherfucker.
I know. It's just it was what it was. It's gonna. I don't know. I don't understand why Conor is favored for this.
But
this,
here's
the sequel.
here's what my main point on this. Conor, to be competitive, probably need to do a lot more weight training. He already looked kind of big, but I mean he was
used
kind
to
of
the weight.
But here's they're doing the interim belt, but
Yeah,
for him to drop back down again after he's gained this muscle,
I don't think he will, man.
he already looked like fucking Skeletor every weigh-in.
I don't think he will.
At 145, he'll have to vacate that
he's
belt.
getting paid too much. Do you think he's gonna cut back down to 145? Do you think Conor McGregor's gonna ever fight again in 145?
I think he'll fight. I think he'll have. Yeah, I think he'll have one more fight at least at 145. I mean, it should fight at 145 again. I mean, that's his division.
He
that's
should,
he's
but
champion of the division.
with all
He
that
should defend
extra
the belt.
muscle, do you think he
Yeah.
can shed that? With all that,
Oh man, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I'm sure there's something that he could do. I mean, those guys they get the best of the best treatment, man. They know they know their body better than anybody else. They can.
hey,
Okay,
lots
no,
of people
here's
don't
the
make
question.
weight.
No, here's
Lots
the
of
question.
people don't make
Oh, for
weight.
sure, for sure. But here's the question. Okay, what are the chances Conor McGregor goes back to 145 if Frankie Edgar has the belt, the interim belt, or Jose Aldo has the interim belt? Because I think if Frankie has it, I don't think he's going back down. Because Frankie's way scarier than Joe. I mean, maybe Jose will not fucking have the same kind of game plan going in, but I think Frankie's way more dangerous. I don't know. That's my.
I feel like if
thoughts.
Conor ducked that fight, if he
Yeah.
if he ducked that fight with Frankie Edgar, man, he would catch so much shit for that.
Yeah.
There's no way he would duck that fight.
But
Okay, so here's the great thing. Here's the great thing, right? Because they're gonna do Madison Square Garden, so that would be
Sometime.
assuming. No, well, it's going to be the end of the year. They're going to do it. November, I think they're talking about. It's going to be fourth quarter of this year. They're putting it. Anyway. Conor McGregor versus Frankie Edgar, assuming Frankie. It doesn't matter if Conor wins or loses. It's more likely that he'll go back down to 145 if he loses against Diaz. But Frankie wins against Aldo, which I think Frankie will. Madison Square Garden. That's assuming, injuries. That's gonna be way bigger. That card is gonna be way bigger than 200 if that can happen.
If he loses again to Nate
mean-
Diaz, the mystique of the Mystic Mac.
There is a parlay
is
in Vegas
done.
somewhere with that. Like, there are odds for that, whatever I just said. I want to put money on that. Can somebody
I
make
agree,
that happen?
but all I'm saying
Yeah.
is
I think that's going to happen.
if he loses again, it's the mystique
John
is
Jones.
done.
Exactly. John Jones.
John
Although-
Jones, yeah.
Yeah.
Chris Weidman.
Yeah. Or just John Jones and Cormier, his pussy
wait.
heels.
What do you think about OSP versus John Jones for the interim? For no apparent reason to put it as an
Well, he
interim.
never lost the belt.
He didn't, but why? Why
I
Because
don't
make
know
they
why
just-
they have an interim belt. It doesn't matter.
Everything's interim. They're all interim. I don't like any of these interims.
Yeah.
All these interim belts are all dog shit. Just like nobody's like I get an interim if like somebody's injured, a champ's injured, and they're out for a prolonged time. You want to keep a belt going. Then you throw an interim.
I'm the interim.
But not like,
right now.
oh, because we're rematching a fight that means nothing against Diaz versus McGregor.
I'm the interim.
You know,
Right
but
now.
I get it. I don't mind
win.
I don't mind the interim. I mean, John Jones. I think I don't know. What do you think is going to happen for that fight? It's late notice for OSP.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we both know, like, if John Jones wins, he's obviously going to get the rematch with DC.
Yeah.
And if OSP wins, which is unlikely, but he'll get a title shot, definitely.
Oh, for
I don't
sure.
see that. I don't see any other scenario, but
No, that's
Yeah.
that's a crazy story. if
OSP was
wins.
gonna
Man.
go to heavyweight, like that was his plan, and then this happened. So I think that he's gonna be super
He's on
heavy.
weight. He's on weight.
Right.
He called into MMA Hour. He's
Oh,
on
shit.
weight. He's
Sorry.
doing good. Yeah, yeah. So that's a good theory, though. That's what people thought. And then he's like, "No, I'm actually." He was when he got the call. He was in the drive-through at Kentucky Fried Chicken, and that's a quote from him, not being racist. He may have had watermelon already. I don't know. But he was at the Kentucky Fried
Popeyes
Chicken.
would be-
when no,
would've
that's
been
where he
racist.
was. He was
It
at
would've-
Kentucky Fried
but
Chicken.
I'm saying-
I know. I had to go with the truth on this one. So
yeah, he was at KFC, bro.
yeah, it's and he got the call. It's like, oh, you're gonna fight John Jones. Like, for sure, original. Not the extra crisp. Give me the original, and I'm good. Just give me the original. I don't know. It's crazy, but he's like, as far as the 205, like most of the 205 is old, man. OSP at least is like some new blood, even though he's not really. I don't think he's that young, but you know, he is kind of a wild card in some.
No,
He's got
you're
edge.
really giving fucking.
No,
you're,
I get it.
You're reaching.
I'm reaching. I mean, I like
I
John
would have loved to
Jones.
have seen. I wish. Was it Rumble that was medically?
He had to
not
do
cleared
a
yet? I would have loved to
dental.
have seen that fight.
Yeah.
He had some fucking. He
Here's the
couldn't,
other thing.
Like put a mouth guard in for like 3 weeks.
Let's say Cormier doesn't come back for a long time because he's not doing surgery. He's only doing stem cells.
What is wrong?
Well, first off, he has no ACL already, but it's a tendon in between the bones in your shin. It's like it's weird tendon that never gets hurt, but it got hurt. He's not doing surgery. He's just getting stem cell. So he's not. He could be out. Let's just say he's out longer than expected, or never comes back because he is old. You know,
He's old as fuck.
Maybe he doesn't come back. So let's say John Jones wins interim belt. They do,
But Dan Henderson.
They do. Dan Henderson. They do Rumble versus John Jones in Madison Square Garden for the belt.
Yeah, love
Right?
it. Love it.
If Cormier can't come back,
It's some crazy injury.
yeah. I mean, Cormier might
Where,
not
like,
come
his
back.
Tibia is not connected to his tibia.
I don't know. It's
He'll
like
come back. He doesn't need surgery, obviously.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It sounded. I don't know when he was on. I watched the
you,
MMA
John
Hour,
Jones.
and he was like talking, and it
If he doesn't need surgery, I think he got it already.
yeah. I mean, I don't think it needs, but he already doesn't have an ACL, and he hasn't had surgery on that. He's just been doing stem cell injections on that. But it's like it doesn't seem like it's still.
I like to think that he
don't
sucks
know,
the
man.
stem cells out of like little fetal babies.
It sounds like he's repairing an old car with duct tape. Is what it sounds like. He's like, well, maybe more duct tape, and then it'll be okay. Like, and he's old, man. He's got damage. I don't think he's coming
He's
back.
gonna duct tape himself to
Dude.
Kane, and they're gonna become
He's been
one.
on that wrestling grind, man.
Yeah, it's just he's
That
gotten
wrestling grind
so
is
much
tough, man.
damage.
His body's beaten.
Yeah,
But again,
he's not a spring chicken.
Dan Henderson.
He's not Cormier. They're completely
Randy
different
Couture.
people. They're not the same people. Yes, some people can fight super late. Cormier is not those people. Cormier is he's an old jalopy.
Started
Listen,
late.
not every car lasts as long as the cars that last
He's
forever.
only been hurt. He's only pulled out of one fight
Yeah.
ever. This one.
yeah. Doesn't
So you're reaching. I think
Yeah.
you're reaching with the fact that
know,
he
man.
might never. He's
Listen.
pulled out of one fight.
that doesn't mean he hasn't had injuries. It's just he hasn't had injuries leading up to a fight.
When were these
But
other injuries?
Yeah.
after fights. I don't know, man. He already doesn't have a fucking ACL.
Maybe he doesn't
that
want
wasn't
one.
the injury he pulled
He
out of.
doesn't like ACLs.
I know. I understand. He probably doesn't.
He took his own out.
He didn't pull out of the fight because of the ACL.
Says
He pulled out of a fight because of fucking some weird tendon that rarely gets damaged, but it got damaged, and it's
I don't know.
probably
He's
and
never
well, the
pulled it.
surgery.
Never.
That's why the surgery is going to take him out for like a year and a half. It takes him out for like a super long time. The recovery for it is super long. That's why he's doing the stem cells, because he knows if he does the surgery, he is never coming back. That's why he's trying to do the stem cell thing to come back. I don't know, man.
He's got to fight. He's got to fight and defend his belt with all the shit that he talks about.
I get it, but he's got a job, man.
They don't
He's
like
already
each other.
working.
They hate each other.
He doesn't care.
They hate each other so much.
Nobody
and I
likes
love
him
it.
as a champ. He goes into a press conference.
He's
Everybody's
the
like,
nicest guy ever,
John
and they all
Jones.
boo him.
Yeah.
And John Jones is kind of a despicable shitbag.
Yeah.
And everyone's
But also,
like, "Woo, John Jones!"
Cormier's like expecting people to like him because he's like, but I'm a good guy. Nobody likes a fucking good guy. He's like, good job. You're doing the thing you're supposed to do. It's like, oh, I'm a cop. I don't shoot black people. It's like, yeah, you're doing your job. Good job. It's like,
This guy's like, I'm getting DUIs with hookers and shit in my car, and I'll fucking run over a pregnant bitch, and I'll fucking what else? Fuck you, cop.
Yeah.
You fucking pig bitch, motherfucker.
yeah.
How do you sleep at night?
Oh yeah.
And everyone's like,
society.
I like
society. Listen,
Donald. He's the Donald Trump of MMA.
have you ever heard of Darth Vader? The most lovable bad guy ever.
No.
Ever.
Never.
Out of like bad guys
Who?
in the UFC, bad guys in the UFC, he's a pretty fucking shithead. And he's like, he tries to like Jedi mind people. But we all see through it. But I don't think Cormier's
He's
coming
just
back,
not
man.
a fucking.
I don't think Cormier's coming back.
Everybody
Maybe he comes back for.
Nobody likes Cormier.
It's weird. I mean, it's not weird, but I don't think it's weird. Do you think it's weird?
Not at all, man.
Yeah.
Like, the guy just, no one likes him. He's not a legitimate champion. He got the belt because some other guy fucked up. So he can't, it's just a matter of time before John Jones comes in there, beats him again, and takes his belt back.
But look at his record. Like, look, Cormier's only lost once. I get that. But still, look at the fucking guys he's beat. He was fucking whooping crazy heavyweight ass.
Until he fought John Jones.
I'm not. John Jones.
John
I
Jones
give it
has
up to that
destroyed
dude.
everybody
Yeah.
that he's
fucking
ever
murderer.
faced too.
But I'm saying,
In
like, I don't.
such a
I don't.
dominant way.
The hate that
Yeah.
he gets, I don't think it's like founded. Besides the fact,
I
that,
think
like,
if he didn't like tell people like, oh, you like, I don't know. He's like,
I
he's
think
like
he kind of narcs John Jones.
He's
out
like the
for,
Christian heel. He's like the Christian heel. It's
He's
like,
but
oh well,
this
just
guy's
gee
a
golly.
bad guy. Look at this guy. He's so bad, and it's like everyone's like, yeah, but quit being a bitch.
But Cormier's like he's Carlton, bro.
Gee golly,
he's Carlton.
Yeah.
Everybody liked Will Smith
It's not
because he was
unusual to be
ghetto.
loved by anyone.
It's Carlton versus Will Smith. Okay, Will Smith had the longer career and he's way more talented. All Carlton had was a little dance with some chicken wings flying by him and some. What was the Cormier song? It's chicken
John
wings.
Jones' days are numbered.
Yeah. Oh man.
Or Daniel Cormier. Or sorry, Daniel Cormier's days are numbered.
Yeah.
Like all I could picture is like him thinking about John Jones being so pissed off about this recent like cop situation that he would just like Waterboy envision that cop's face on his head and just go fucking ape shit and kill him. And you're like, Mr. Jones,
I was not drag racing.
I was not drag racing. And DC's like, what's he talking about?
Oh man. Why is
I mean, I don't know what the hell. I guess he has a personal driver now, so he's not in any sort of position to where he actually has to make a real adult decision.
Yeah.
Well, why again, I said that 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Like, why don't you just have a driver? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah. Well, now he does.
Uber everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, for sure.
Hopefully it works,
Move
man.
out of Albuquerque.
What if he gets some ticket riding a bicycle? It's like, I was just getting some cardio in
God.
down the street. I didn't have a fucking helmet on. I didn't know.
I still love
Only
his.
John Jones. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if he fucks up again, though. That's the thing.
Oh, he's
I wouldn't be
gonna.
surprised.
He's
It's
gonna.
so close. I mean, here's the thing. If he does, it doesn't. It's not like he's missing a big fight. You know, it's not like he's missing his belt. He's not missing the Cormier. Cormier already pulled out, and he's already got legal issues. I think he really wants to fight. I don't think he wants these legal issues though.
Right now, he just wants to punch someone in the face so bad. He's been to jail a couple times.
He's
Fucking
bigger.
the cop. He's bigger. He's stronger. Like, I would be terrified. Like, OSP, I feel bad for, like, hey, and I said it the other day. Imagine the pandemonium if OSP wins, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
You want to talk about the biggest upset in UFC history?
Oh my God.
If OSP wins, John Jones, who's somebody, I mean, doesn't matter what people consider the best ever, which I do too. You know, and he hasn't even had the
He's never
long
legitimately
career.
lost.
Amazing, and just getting like not even like all interviews point to not even trying until potentially now, where he's actually training in his off prison time. And, you know, fucking, which has given him a lot of time to, like, kind of grow with the new muscle. And it's just, for him to lose on, like, a short notice on OSP, he's already got, like, a salty, inconsistent UFC showing. Get an opportunity last minute.
Can't break that top 5.
Woo-wee. And he's still a dynamic fighter. You know, he has a style, so he's not like a bland fighter. Whether he defends his belt or not, but
you know, anybody can get caught.
Yeah,
anybody can get caught, but John Jones is just so good at everything that he does, and he's got an advantage physically, obviously. So it's going to be tough, man. It'd be tough for OSP, but. I mean, of course, anything could happen, but I don't see it happening. I don't see John Jones losing.
Yeah.
Then they just announced today Tate versus Nunes for 200. Yeah.
I'm kind of glad there's another.
Oh, nice.
I'm glad they're filling in this card because when they first announced it, I was okay. Connor versus Nate Diaz.
Aldo
versus McGregor. Interim. Egger.
Aldo versus
Edgar versus
Did
Aldo.
you guys hear that Juliana Pena? I was kind of hoping that Juliana Pena would get a shot pretty soon. She's due. I know Nunez is good, but Juliana Pena, apparently she got arrested for assault recently, but she's been legit too, man. I'm excited about the women's divisions, man. They're
they
super
give the best fucking fights, man. I don't know what it is like, and I never thought that I would have thought that because of early female MMA. But the heart, like I'm in love with the bullet that like the Russian kickboxer girl.
Yeah. I don't know her name.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna pull that one, bro. It's first off, it's not an easy name to say when you're reading it. So.
She lost her fight to Nunes,
but she looks so good.
She came back. No, this one, the short one.
She beat that French lady, right?
Yeah, she beat that French lady, and then she fought Nunes like out of nowhere. Like she was out of nowhere, short notice, and then they gave her to number 4.
Yeah,
and she fought Nunes scared, but like got her confidence back in like the last 2 rounds.
Yeah.
But Nunes had already won the first 3. Like, so that she is.
It's going to be exciting.
Like, she's like the 135 Johanna.
Yeah. Well, she's like. She's
like that, huh?
She's one of those award-winning, belt-winning.
Like a bunch of kickboxing, Muay
and from
Thai
Russia,
belts.
dude. That's why this card.
She fought on that card with McGregor and Diaz, right?
Yeah.
This is this upcoming card Sunday is going to be the Croatia card because it's just a bunch of fucking.
It's a bunch of people you don't know.
Eastern Europeans that are like
versus Junior.
Yeah, it could be like some next level shit.
Well, these guys are coming straight out of Chernobyl.
Oh my god,
hungry for some fucking.
Yeah. They don't test for radiation yet.
Yeah,
It's
like
all HGH,
That card's
steroid.
actually in the morning, right?
Yeah, yeah. Somebody has to get screened.
Yeah, it's gonna be early on Sunday.
Oh yeah, it's
11
like-
here, I think.
yeah, like 10 or 11. Yeah, it's it's gonna be a nice start to the day.
I gotta
guess
work
There
at
goes
4.
my Sunday.
I gotta work at 4.
Yeah. Well, you'll be able to watch it later. I'll be here
But
watching
still,
it.
I'll catch
that
the
card-
first 5 hours of it.
Yeah. It's just like
Honestly, I don't know anybody on the card except for Junior Dos Santos.
No
and Ben
one does.
Rockwell.
yeah. No, we tried to talk about it and we're like, well,
Yeah.
we don't recognize any of those names,
There's
but
no
the way
pictures.
they're spelled makes me think this card is going to be amazing.
There's no Wikipedias.
Man, it's just crazy because we're getting this new wave of like
I think one of them
Russians
is an
and-
actual bear.
maybe. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's
Maybe.
just like, what's your
Did you
definition
see
of bear?
Khabib like wrestling with that bear?
Oh yeah,
Fucking
that's
ridiculous.
That was when he was a kid.
That's before he knew
My
any better.
child-
when he
my
was older too.
Oh yeah, now he's like wrestling full grown bears.
Yeah.
But as a child,
Like, it
he
was
was
like a
like,
baby bear.
Yeah.
Like a baby bear.
He just went to the wrong part of LA
Uh,
and just went into the wrong bar, and it's like they get aggressive in that bar. I mean, it was wrestling for sure. Just somebody won.
That card is just, they got to fill spots. That's what the UFC is trying
Yeah.
to do. I mean, everybody's obviously geared up for that, Khabib potential fight. I don't know. We'll see who he fights, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hopefully they fill it. Is that this Sunday? No, that's
No,
like
it's-
a few weeks.
all right, wait,
Hold on. Yeah. Go ahead.
Weidman, Rockhold
It's easy.
rematch.
Easy.
Who do you got?
Fuck. I don't know, man. I liked Weidman before going into that fight, but seeing Rockhold just, man, he looked really good. I don't see how he can lose again, but man, he looked pretty fucking good. It's hard to beat that guy. Hard to
So
beat him.
Weinman went in with a broken, or he had a broken foot. It broke in 2 places, his foot, before the fight. So like leading up to the fight, he just had to recover from his foot, so he wasn't able to train. And then Rockhold had staph,
Yeah, he was on antibiotics.
and it was
and
antibiotics. Yeah. And then out of that, Rockhold looked like, I would assume between, I don't know, I guess it was just like they both got gas super early. And the only reason Weidman really lost was when he threw that kick. That was the beginning of the end for him. It's going to be interesting to watch him like healthy fighting, I guess.
Or
But I
you-
still think Rockhold's going to
He's
win.
gonna fight. Not gonna fight Jacare, right? Jacare's got another fight. Is that right?
I don't know if they have something. Yoel just came back.
He's,
They're
no,
talking about.
yeah, he
they're talking about
somehow got a
Bisping
plea
and him.
deal.
Yeah, he's able to fight. It went down to 6 months, retroactive. He hasn't fought for over 6 months, so he's ready to go. Bisping, there's talk of him fighting Bisping, Yoel Romero.
Well, that's because he was talking mad shit about that. Well, Bisping really
Well-
hates the steroids because he doesn't
Yeah.
take them,
Yeah. And he just, I mean, I don't know. That's a scary fight for Bisping.
and he's only
But-
got one eye.
Yeah, but that's still, he beat
man.
Anderson Silva.
Well, I guess they have locked down that.
Which one?
Yeah, I guess they have locked down that fight between Weidman and Weidman and
Rockhold?
the rematch.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rockhold.
Yeah, that was part of, they did like a big,
It's 198, I think. Or
it's coming up. It was part of their big press conference they had a few weeks ago, where they introduced the Jones versus Cormier, and it was one of the press conferences that didn't involve Connor. So, but they announced like the UFC's doing where they announce like their next 6 months or the next 4 months or whatever. They do a press conference like, and they call it like, "This is showtime," and then Pettis loses. It's like, it's the McGregor.
That's 199 UFC 199, and then
Oh, there you
Dominic
go.
Cruz is on that card too, right?
Probably Co-Main
yeah,
against
versus Faber.
No, it's Cruz versus Faber. I don't know, man.
Huh.
There's a lot of there's been a break and I'm excited for the fights that are
I'm
coming
so
up.
glad that there's been this lull for like a month
Yeah,
almost where there's just been no fights because it makes me really want
yeah.
to watch. Like it was, I've said it before. It got oversaturated for a minute.
Yeah,
I
don't have
still
a problem with it.
I don't either, but I'm saying
I enjoy it. I don't have to watch every single event the UFC puts on,
I kind of feel like I do.
but I if it's like the OCD thing. If it's on, I'm watching it. I have it. I can get
It's
it.
hard
so
not to watch UFC, man.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have Fight Pass, but I always definitely love
You
the
really-
fight cards on Fox.
Dude.
You should get Fight Pass.
Yeah. Fight Pass
really
is
good.
awesome.
Yeah, I know I need to get it.
It's the
Well,
best.
I'm getting it now now the EBI's on it,
It's
Yeah.
fucking really good.
which is
That's
going to be
coming
that
up.
same weekend too.
Yeah.
The EBI,
Yeah, it's the same
Glory,
weekend as
April 23rd.
dude, there's everything on there. Like
Yeah.
Sunday.
They're the Netflix
The
of
Sunday
combat
after
sports.
John Jones and
Yeah. Yeah.
UFC.
Dude, that's going to be I'm excited to watch that EBI event too. Is that
that's insane for like if you just like got Netflix and Fight Pass. What's that? $20 a month?
sure. It's probably less, but yeah.
Maybe a little
Yeah.
bit less.
Unlimited content.
And
Yeah.
and that's
I
just
mean,
everything.
If you like fights, yeah, and it's got like every UFC fight ever, fucking Pride, UFC Fight Pass, please sponsor
Strike
us
Force,
if you want. That'd be cool because I love your service. Yeah, and now kickboxing
Affliction,
and
Glory,
and they have live events.
Invicta.
Invicta,
All of the Invictas live on there.
It's so good. It's so good. And you could do the
and you get the
pay-per-views
exclusive
and everything.
cards.
Yeah, there's all kinds of shit. It's
Oh,
amazing.
Speaking of Invicta, do you guys know who Tanya Evinger is?
Uh,
You know
no.
the women's 135.
No, I've watched a
she's
few
she's the
events.
women-
But, okay. Go
Is
ahead.
she the one that
So
just got
she's-
popped with
she was-
steroids?
I thought. Did she?
No, I'm
I have
saying
no
is
idea.
she? Because like I know
Damn.
one of the Invicta girls just got popped, and she looked crazy jacked in the picture that they
Oh.
showed.
I don't know her name, but there
Fuck,
was one.
man.
But
I don't
anyway,
know. I don't know who. I don't know if it was her that got popped, but
I mean,
I
there's a
thought
lot of
she could
fighters.
fight,
Keith has no idea.
Cyborg.
What's that?
I thought she was going to fight Cyborg on the her UFC debut.
Right.
'Cause she's the champion in her weight class in Invicta, but it's good to see Cyborg finally getting a UFC.
Yeah, it's going to be
appearance.
exciting.
Poor Leslie Smith,
I mean,
who just
Dude.
fought a Japanese midget.
she's got no quit in her. You know?
what? Like I almost
She
thought
fought a bowling ball. What are you going to do
I
against a
almost
bowling
thought
ball?
that
Come
she
on, man.
lost that fight too.
Yeah, I don't know. It was that was a horrible. Listen, what kind of matchups are you going to get at that weight class with somebody that short, man? That short and thick. It's like
Just
that's
like
such
a little
tough.
Tyrannosaurus.
It's fighting a bowling ball. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I don't know. It's
She's
it's
got
going to
some
be fun to
sexy
see.
pictures.
It's
going to
be interesting to see how Cyborg wades in at 140 instead of 145. They've
Just
now said
make
they can never make
135.
135.
Oh,
Her
she's
coach
gonna-
said that.
Oh
or
yeah,
her weight
so
person said
just
that.
just 5 pounds.
Yeah, they're not. They're just like they're probably like who? She's huge, bro.
don't
She's
give a
not
fuck.
small.
Yeah.
She's not.
Joe
small.
Riggs used to weigh
No, she's
350
super big, man.
pounds. You
Yeah,
can
but
lose
he
muscle.
lost weight.
You
He
can
was
lose
fat.
muscle.
He wasn't 350 pounds of muscle.
I weighed
Yeah, you can't-
190
he was-
pounds.
he was
and
obese.
it
He
was
doesn't want
the
to.
same body
Yeah.
fat that I am
Yeah.
now.
No,
So-
no,
And I
she-
weigh
Listen,
165 pounds
no.
now.
You don't understand the drugs she took to get that size. Those are permanent, bro. Those were tattoo drugs.
Gee, I took
Those were
drugs.
tattoo
Not
drugs.
those drugs, but I
Yeah.
took other.
Those are permanent gains.
Yeah, you just can't. She can't. It's just impossible. She'd have to
Bullshit.
cut off bone mass.
Bullshit.
She'd have to just like scrape bone.
It's fucking.
Whatever. Who
If
cares?
Christian Bale did the
Listen,
Machinist.
Okay, so she goes to
And
135.
Batman.
She goes to 135. She
can-
destroys
My jiu-jitsu
everybody.
Coach here in Houston used to room with her and Cyborg. What was his name? They were roommates together in California when Cyborg and Evangelista were all training together for Shoot Box. So I want to see Cyborg do really well in the UFC, man. I hope she gets a title shot. I hope they figure out a way to get her a super fight and get her paid.
Oh,
She
for sure.
deserves it.
Oh, for sure. I think she will. I don't see why not.
She's nice too. Like she's got a bad rap,
Yeah.
But like,
she's scary though. I'm just saying she's scary in the ring.
terrifying.
Like if she could get 135.
I love the
If she could
picture
get
of
to
her and
135.
Frankie Edgar, like beside each other.
Yeah, that picture with Frankie Edgar.
Oh my
is
God,
ridiculous.
it's terrifying.
She's giant.
She's just like
Yeah.
towers over him, and like her arms are bigger than him, and
Yeah.
that's 155. That's when he was at 155.
Yeah, but he never really cut weight for that.
I don't give a fuck, man. She
Yeah.
she looked like 170.
Well, she
pounder.
probably was 170. She probably is 170 or close to, like just not fucking just way between camps and shit. I don't know.
But if
She's
you,
not-
hey, if you want the big fight, make 135. I don't give a fuck. Why
She's
should
already in
everyone
there,
else
man.
have to bend to it?
Because clearly, if she could,
No one
get
else
to, if
wants
she
to
got
fight.
to 135, she would destroy it. So maybe she just can't.
Wait, with Gina Carano, right?
I
That
don't
was
know if I watched
145.
that
Gina
one.
Carano or
That was at 145.
Yeah, I don't think she's ever. I mean, maybe early before the supplements. I don't know, man. I'm excited though. At least they're giving her a fight. They're putting her in there. They got to give her more fights if they're going to introduce her. They got to come up with something. Either come up with a 145 division, which is tough, or just make
It's
super
easily
fights.
co-main event with any of the top 3 contenders in bantamweight.
Yeah,
Easily
yeah,
co-main event.
yeah, and just make it a catch weight. Yeah, they could. I mean, they have options. If they're going to introduce her, clearly they have a plan. They're like, well, we have things that we're going to use her for. They're not just going to be like, well, she's on contract with Zuffa. We're going to throw her into, which is going to be that Brazilian card is like a crazy card. Just as far as just the Brazilian fighters that are on that card. In like a lot of them, their hometowns.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, Cyborg trains like just a few miles from where they're having the fights.
Yeah, there's
So it's super cool to see that.
it's a stacked card.
Yeah.
And it's like it's just gonna be, and it's all.
But
I
how
think
long
it's
is
just,
Cyborg going to fight for? She's not fighting much longer.
That
she
too.
Can't fight much longer.
yeah, maybe that's why they're bringing her in. I mean, you know, UFC's getting into the super fight game more, but better than Bellator. They're kind of clown circus thing. It's like actual fighters that have been around a long, like Anderson Silva is kind of getting these fights that are like,
Him and Uriah Hall. That's.
that's a passing of the torch fight right there. That's a passing of the torch fight. That's like Uriah Hall versus like he's the future of that dynamic striking. Like if you're going to compare styles, he's like maybe not exactly like Anderson
Dude, you
Silva.
remember-
What's that?
You watched the Uriah Hall and Musashi fight. That fight was unbelievable.
Was that the last one, or was that the one?
That was.
That is
When Musashi
I watched
had him
it.
in the first round and took him down,
Came
Hall
back.
didn't have much. And then at the beginning of the second round, he did that spinning kick and he ducked right into it and it kicked him in the face.
Oh my!
But
It's-
on the
yeah.
flip side, like,
He's a mental fighter, though.
yeah,
That's the
and
thing.
I think Anderson Silva,
Mental as well. Now we see Anderson mentally is
but
broken.
He
has issues
because
he lost that fight
On
he had
purpose.
Not on purpose.
No, I'm saying,
he lost
like,
that fight.
because he wouldn't attack.
He had every opportunity to beat Bisping.
He fucked
and
him
did
up.
not do
Look
it.
at Bisping's face at the
Yeah.
end of it.
Every
He
time
fucked him up.
Anderson attacked, he succeeded. He just didn't attack most of that
yeah,
fight.
he just
he
stopped.
lost that fight.
He was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
well, I'm Anderson
So
Silva."
mentally versus it's a mental game.
Yeah.
This is a mental game, bro. And I think
This
I
thing
think it's,
has super good cardio.
yeah.
He wasn't going to give up on that fight.
Yeah.
Man. He was like not gonna. He was not going to give back down. So
Yeah.
he's just mentally tough.
He's a smart fighter. He's been in the game for a long time. He knows. He knows. And then he does a rookie thing and points to his mouthpiece and screws up. But he's also emotional. But it was crazy that watching the fight. Clearly, Bisping won it, but clearly it was Anderson's fight to win or lose. Like at any time, you saw moments in that fight that you didn't see in the Diaz fight, where it's like, oh, Anderson still can do those things that he could do.
He pulled a
but
Paul
it's
Harris.
way too little, way too late.
He pulled a Paul Harris and jumped up on the fence. And he's like, "I won, I won," and they're like, "No, you didn't." And he's like, "Yes, I won." And
yeah, well, what are you gonna do?
Did you guys happen to see? Speaking of Paul Harris, did you see him against Tonin and Polaris?
No, I saw you tweeting
watch
about
that
it,
card?
but
I saw a clip of the
Man.
throw or the suplex or whatever the fuck he tried to do. But that I just saw that clip.
Oh
I haven't
my
watched the
God.
fight. I haven't watched the match yet.
that match just makes you cringe, man. Your legs are just eking at every single angle, man. It's so intense, man. Those guys are leg lock masters.
Oh yeah, that's why I
As a
thought.
leg lock fan, man,
No, go ahead.
I loved that match.
Yeah.
It was that just watching that match of leg locks. It was just, I mean, Gary Tonin. I don't think there's anybody more athletic than that guy, man. And I thought, man, Paul Harris was just. I thought Tonin would actually submit him,
Paul
but
Harris
I'm really surprised Paul Harris got out of that match. But he gassed out late
he
in the
looks
match.
so
and Tonin was able to
juiced
kinda-
right now. So juiced.
Well, I think it was it open weight? It was open weight, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So it's like
Yeah, it
who
was.
knows how
It was.
big.
Juiced to the fucking tits
Well,
right
yeah,
now.
it's like oh yeah, they Polaris has
But that-
Polaris has no USADA working
that
for him.
slam though reminded me of the slam from the Onnit. Like I don't know how you didn't go full Joe Rogan.
Oh, that suplex.
What
Yeah,
the
that suplex between.
like we had
I missed
we had that on the
I
projector.
missed that
like
one.
I turned on,
just missed that.
yeah. Ray was still in his room. I had the projector on, so we got 108 inches of projection, and I was watching.
We were watching life size.
I was watching
basically.
your small body next to giant Brendan Schaub. But
Yeah, I
you
was
were
definitely the smallest
roughly
dude
the
between
same
those guys.
size as Callan, and then the revolving cast of
I
other
actually
people.
challenged Callan to a fucking blue belt match, but he wouldn't accept.
Ugh.
Let that be heard.
Well, he's a very fragile
No,
man.
no, like,
He's a dancer.
I think we
Yeah, he's super
call
fragile.
out, like, shots fired. Right,
That's what
now.
I'm saying. It's like
we're-
we can call it out all day, but I don't think Callan's going to accept it because he's just a fragile dancer, man.
He doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, he doesn't
Yeah.
want to grow up and
Oh, yeah.
actually compete.
I love that. I love his stories of like I was rolling with
The
Jake
Smurf
Shields.
match.
And
It'd be the Smurf match. It's the blue belt
like
match.
everyone
right?
No.
else there was like,
we're
I want to fuck
we're
him
never
up.
rolling with Jake Shields. Jake Shields would just dominate you.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're just like that's like, oh, I danced with a storm. I danced with a tornado. It's like, no, you didn't. You got flown 300 miles because you went outside and said, "Fuck you," and it's like, and, that's what happens. It's like you don't compete. You just get dominated.
No. What's crazy though about that Polaris card is that there were no submissions. All of them ended in draws.
I
Kind
heard
of a
that.
bummer, man.
that was what
That's
I was
why
saying
EBI
earlier.
is amazing.
EBI, yeah,
You
it
know?
gives you closure. Something happened. Everything
Yeah.
else in jiu-jitsu is a fucking draw or some stupid points.
Yeah, that's why UFC gives big bonuses for exciting fights.
That's
You
why
know,
high school
when you don't have
wrestling-
money, it's like, well, you can only win if you submit.
That's why high school wrestling just isn't like, even though I wrestled for a while and it can be exciting, but most of the time it's fucking not.
Really?
It's because there's no real closure. It's a weird point. It's like, I won because that one time I broke your hand lock.
Well, I guess what are you gonna do?
I'm interested to see kind of how the jiu-jitsu, because this points versus sub only BS is kind of, if something's got to give to where I guess the people are gonna decide what they like better. Do they like seeing the draws or do they like seeing the points tournaments? But these sub only tournaments, like they can't even, Polaris has definitely tried to do it, but it's not perfected yet. But what's their goal? Do they want to be on Fight Pass like EBI? Because EBI's already done that. They're there.
Yeah.
They're doing more EBIs now. And I think they have to do like 10 of them a year now, right? I
Yeah.
think that's what Eddie Bravo said.
That's amazing.
I saw an April Fool's joke that Eddie Bravo bought Metamoris.
That's amazing.
Oh, I
Which
saw
he
that
could.
on Facebook.
Well, I mean, it's like, why would you want
to?
to?
Hilarious.
I saw it on Facebook, I just laughed. I was like,
Yeah,
oh.
everybody else is way behind EBI. Every time I ever hear a fighter talk about, or just anybody that used to be in fighting, like Kenny Florian, and they're talking about getting back into like jiu-jitsu tournaments, which Kenny Florian I think is competing in some New York tournament.
Gi tournament.
Yeah, but still he's competing in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
But every time EBI is like the first.
Actors,
Yeah, it's right at the top of everybody's list.
by the way.
What's that? What'd you say?
I was gonna say he's doing Masters division. He's not doing adult division. He's doing the Masters division.
Just like older people.
So he's with the older guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, he's older.
That's what
I get
a little
it.
bit older.
It's all good though.
No shame in that though.
No, it's like he's competing, but I'm just saying that like
because
everybody.
that's
he's like
what Joey rolls in.
Oh
Right?
really? Oh jeez. Okay. So
He actually do it.
that would be
Oh.
first
Do
off.
adult too, bro.
First off, that's a good dream. You want to roll with Kenny Florian? Well, I mean, you got some work to do, I guess. Before age wise, you're in the same category, but belt wise, Kenny is still a black belt.
I thought
Right?
I thought it was funny when I was down in Houston visiting with these guys. They called him Grandpa, and I go, "Why you call him Grandpa?"
so
They're
sad.
like, "Cause he's 30,
younger
And
than
I
us.
was like, "Fuck you guys."
Yeah, fuck all those guys, man. They're just like you need to get older friends, bro. Hopefully that black house, dark house. What's jiu-jitsu?
Dark side.
Dark side.
Dark side. Yeah.
Dark side. I was getting there. Dark side. Hopefully there's some people your age in there that, or at least people showing you some goddamn respect.
Calling him Grandpa.
Yeah.
I almost lost it.
I roll with these 16, 17-year-old kids, man, and they always give me a run, man. There's definitely a good stable of guys that are like 18 to like 27, 28 that really give me a good run. So
Yeah, but
There's
they
a good-
got to be
they
respecting
definitely-
you, right? They can't be calling you grandpa on the fucking mat,
no,
right?
no, we don't get
Okay,
any.
good.
No, they showed the he-specs. There's
Good.
he-spec shown.
He-spec.
He's spec.
That's good. You need to bring some of that he-spec back to the Pursuit Podcast studios and show those motherfuckers some respect.
Uh-huh.
Why? I
Tell
mean,
them you're not the grandpa.
We already know that.
I mean, I'm only the. I can't. I'm got 2 purple belts that I got to answer to, right?
Well, I mean, we need to get you on some Matrix shit. There's some new developments with VR that and brain stimulation.
you can always
Training.
just choke up Garza.
yeah,
Like just
just yeah, but then
I
that they can't-
challenge Garza. Garza didn't. He doesn't know. He doesn't train. So I can definitely take Garza in a no-gi grappling match.
he'll try to hit you with a
I love
kettlebell.
the match.
He's like, I'm Steve Maxwell certified.
Yeah.
Just hit you upside the head with a kettlebell. They don't just freeze your body in his cryo cell and then just ship you off.
Yeah, they'll freeze him down. You can freeze him down. He's got discounts.
One day he'll train one day.
Do you think
He'll
he
train
will?
one day.
Do you
Do you
think
really think after this long being
I think
a part
he
of
just-
the Jiu-Jitsu podcast,
he's just
like,
gonna keep starting businesses so he doesn't
yeah,
have to
it's
train?
like,
It's
well,
like,
I'm busy.
If he starts a float business or a sauna business, if he's starting a sauna business next to his cryo business, let me tell you something. He's avoiding.
I can't
He's
believe
avoiding competing.
he left Izell running the cryo business while he went to the Onnit thing. Since Izell is the jiu-jitsu guy, like
You gotta
what did-
respect who
yeah, what-
owns the business, right?
I don't know. That's fucked
It's
up.
dominance.
That's
It's gorilla
fucked
dominance.
up.
Garza
bro.
was a good cameraman, man. He was a good cameraman.
Was he a
made
cameraman?
some good friends and yeah. He wasn't a cameraman for the card, but he was
Oh.
just helping me out and
Oh, for sure.
I
know,
was Facebooking him during
think
it. Like he was just fucking around on Facebook. Don't give me no
He
shit.
was doing social
Yeah.
media. He was working, bro. That's work. Work. I mean, not real hard work.
I'm like,
but it's
bro, I
work.
just saw you in the background. He's like, yeah.
probably wasn't watching the show much or whatever. That's cool. Yeah, man.
I think they had it. I think they actually had it during the matches. You could listen to it in your headphones, which was pretty cool.
Well, that's cool.
Like you can hear the commentating on the head. Yeah. So
Well-
that was pretty neat. So
And you could just like wait for a quiet point, and then just everybody would hear you guys just or Shab talking shit. Like what was the
yeah,
what was
I
it
got-
murder? Was it murder? Kill. Was it murder or kill?
war.
Damn
war.
it.
No,
It's one of those violent words. War. I liked it. I happen to like it. It was new. It was different.
well, it's either that or what? Combatch, like the IBJJF referees do.
I mean, literally, you can say anything in that moment. You don't have. I mean, that's you can.
Sure.
But war's different. It's not like let's get it on. You know, so many people copy Big John, man. Which Big John probably didn't. I don't know if he originated.
I
Let's
would
Get It
just,
On.
I'd be like,
Let's get it on.
I'd be like, gouge his eyes out, and
Yeah.
then just back up, and then everyone would just look confused for a second.
I mean, what's war in Portuguese?
I don't know. Gouge his eyes out.
There you go.
Well, that's what they say. They say combate.
Oh, that
combate.
is that war in Portuguese?
I doubt it.
Sounds
No.
like
That's what they do to start.
That's just what. Okay. Well, you know, I mean, they got options. You don't have to do the traditional fucking Portuguese introduction to a grappling tournament. You could do war in Portuguese, whatever that word is.
Comebatch.
Yeah, I don't know.
Big old batch of cum.
I don't know. But war is cool. I didn't mind it. It was a funny
Yeah.
it was a funny like addition to the commentary of the show, like that ongoing joke in a way, but I didn't think it was a joke.
No,
I just thought it was funny.
It was fun.
It's Fighter and the Kid talking shit about stuff like they do. It's just it was a really kind of a weird dynamic. It was good, not weird. It was a good dynamic, but it was a different dynamic than you'd see on commentary for fucking anything.
Again, those guys like made it really easy, but I never knew that when I didn't know they were going to be hosting the event when they asked me.
That's cool.
And I was like, oh, that's crazy. When I found out, I'm like, that's I can't imagine. Like I listen to their podcast all the time, so it's one of my favorite ones. So it's definitely, again, it's like really really cool to see those guys. And then we're going to the live show next week. Or this weekend, so that'll be cool to see. I don't know. Have y'all seen one of their live shows yet?
No, we missed it when they were in Denver. Well, they were in Denver for Schaub's birthday, but we didn't go. But that's cool. So you're gonna go. I'm interested to hear what that show is like.
We had conversation about going to it,
know if I was,
and it was like
it's like
I
far.
like the podcast.
I really love the podcast. It's one of my. I mean, it's one of the go-tos all the time.
But I don't know what they would do at a live show.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. I enjoy their podcast. I don't know if I want to go. I don't know. It's just because I don't know what the show is, and I know it's supposed to be different. So I'm curious to know what the show ends up being like. But I love them. It's just circumstances.
If
or
anything,
whatever.
if it's a lot of stand up, I'm like that'd be cool too. Like I'll hear 30 minutes of Brian stand up and fuck whatever Schaub has to say. I'll hear his new new venture. Why not?
I would definitely be curious to hear.
I want to hear what Brendan's
is. I mean, I guess he's just telling stories, and he's kind of funny. But when it's a different thing doing a podcast and doing comedy.
I've been on stage.
So,
it's different. It's not just telling
it's
stories.
Interesting because I love them both, and it was a great addition to the thing.
That sounds so scary. Stand up comedy.
Yeah,
it's not. Every time I tell, what's the worst thing that could happen? No one laughs.
I mean, what if you pass out and get a concussion?
Yeah, like you roll jiu-jitsu every night. Like you could legitimately fucking break shit all the time. Comic just worries that no one laughs at his shit.
It just seems so fucking more fragile. You just seem so much more exposed.
Well,
in
but
raw out there.
I'm not risking physical injury.
Yeah, but you can also be a comic that wears clothes too. You don't have to go out there naked.
You can.
I mean, you can for sure.
You guys are cutting out.
Oh well, that's right. Well, we could fucking. We
gotta wrap.
We've been
up.
fucking going strong for I don't know how long I don't know when it started, but we've gone a long distance. It's been an amazing journey. Yeah, I don't know when I started that.
Yeah,
though.
man.
But and we'll do it again when you're in town. So this is part one.
Definitely.
We'll do the better video version for the audio listeners.
With some 360 cam and shit.
Probably I'll get that. Well, yeah, for sure I could do that. So anyway, thank you again for coming on. Where can everybody find you online? Oh, and are there any plans for Onnit Invitational 3? You commentating again? Are there any plans for you commentating anymore?
Dude, I think I want to think they're gonna ask me to do the next one. I think they have a plan in June for the Onnit World Open. I think that's June 25th.
Sweet.
And they're going to have some more super fights and some more tournaments and stuff like that. So I'm pretty sure I'd be very happy to commentate again. So hopefully that's in the mix, man.
I think everybody should push for that on the internet. And is that going to be in the Austin Onnit Academy location again? Yep.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's going to be, I believe it is. I don't want to say 100% because I don't know what the full details are, but
yeah.
I just know the Onnit World Open is June 25th. But yeah, the last one was at the Onnit facility, dude. Everybody should go to that place, man. That's like an adult playground for sure. Place is awesome, and dime pieces everywhere.
That's always good.
And we have been in talks here about making a road trip down to Texas.
Because Texas.
Because I still have that place to stay.
The Outlaw Tour. And
we can visit up, cross podcasts with you guys.
Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah.
Get frozen up in a goddamn coffin.
Sure, man.
Yeah, get some cryotherapy.
You guys can fucking stay with me, man. Y'all got a place to stay, so.
Well, no, yeah. I still have that apartment that I could have totally moved into. Like,
I mean, you know, if we end
like
up
a vacant apartment.
Yeah. Like that, I would have just like lived there for free.
You know,
that's badass, dude. Well, hey, yeah, you always got a spot here. Then that's cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, we're for sure gonna go out there at some point. It'd be cool if we could go out June. When was the Onnit thing? June.
I can request some shit.
Yeah,
like now.
June 28th.
Yeah, June 25th.
June 25th.
June 25th. Right.
June 25th.
Wheels turning, but I will also say
I'm just trying to remember it.
Hey, yeah, June 25th. Texas in June 25th.
Oh, yeah, I get it. Heat.
Oh yeah.
I was in Palm Springs during the worst time of the year before I
forgot that you lived in the desert. Yeah. Like to me, I'm like
Keith talking about hot weather is the most hilarious
thing. It's like
thing
Ray
to me.
talking about cold weather,
which I don't complain about it. I walked to the weed store in a blizzard.
You did.
I just walked to the weed store so many times. I knew what the buildings look like on my way because I can't see that far during a blizzard, which apparently, you know, but a man's got to get fucking weed when he lives in Denver. Doesn't matter if the weather's bad. But anyway, Joey, where can everybody find you on the internet?
You can find me. I'm on Twitter at JFodyOZ. I want to see if I can change that though. I want to change it to JFodyBJJ because that's what I'm on Instagram, and that's where I'm most active. So come say hi to me on Instagram, JFodyBJJ, and on Facebook at Joey Fody. So yeah, guys, just say hi, just give me a shout out. So that's cool. Appreciate it, guys.
It's awesome. Thank you for coming on, and look forward to meeting you in person, podcasting in person.
I've already met
hanging
him.
out.
I told you he's a fucking great guy.
Whatever. You know. Yeah, I know that. Whatever. He's on here.
No,
that's why we're not. We don't talk to shitheads.
I had so much fun with you guys down in Houston.
Yeah,
like
it's been
it was so much fun, man. I'm happy to have met you, and you know, we'll definitely do it again, man. I'm excited to come up there again. And now I didn't know, like I said, I didn't know y'all were there, so. It's cool now that y'all are going to be there. So.
That's right. Inspired Disorder came to Denver, put a flag down in it, and called it ours. And everybody's welcome. So thank you for coming on. And I guess that's just how we end it because it's just audio and it's all done, and that's how it ends.
We love you, people, and Mixed Martial Arts and BJJ forever,
for sure,
for life,
for life.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Inspired Disorder podcast. Embedded signals within this podcast have reprogrammed your natural thinking patterns. Side effects may include lack of inhibitions, erectile dysfunction, anal leakage, transcendental communication with beings from 4 of the 7 primary dimensions. In the event of a tear in space-time, please keep your hands down and feet together. Any loss of life or limbs due to interdimensional travel is not the responsibility of this podcast.